Hi everybody. So again, it's been about 33 years for Willie's guitars, and I'm going to share with you a couple of stories, reminiscing. You can put up with it a little bit. Back when I first opened the first store, there was a 93-year-old guy, and he typed my lease out on a typewriter. You know, there was no internet. We were all buying stuff out of the paper. There was no anything, you know, really electronically. But so he typed it up on a typewriter, and the typewriter didn't have the letter E. I signed a lease on that very first building for 3 years on a lease that didn't have the letter E. One of the first years I got this ukulele, which is kind of my favorite, and this is a Martin Style 2. And there's just something about the tone and character of it. I haven't tuned it recently, but Martin makes O's, which don't have binding. They make Style 1s, which do have binding. And then they make the 2s, which are a little more deluxe. And of course, above that is a 3 and a 5, and the 5s are very rare. And so, as a uke collector, I've always dug the uke. And back in '89, everybody equated the uke to Tiny Tim, so they weren't terribly popular, even though Tiny Tim is a fantastic historian. So a Model 1 ukulele, and I'm just going to go through some of these for you collectors, is something that just has the simple, like a D18, it has the darker binding on it. And this is a really nice, clean Model 1. These are worth collecting. And as I've said before, if you have a logo on the headstock like that, it's newer. A logo on the back, it was about 1937 that had started doing the logo on the back there. And so if you have a logo on the back of your ukulele, that means it's an older ukulele. Now people can buy these fantastic ukuleles. This is This is a fluke. This is an American-made instrument, and it's a fantastic instrument. And I'm going to tell you that these guys changed the face of the ukulele by producing this fantastic sounding instrument that was very durable, sounded great, replaceable tuners, tension-tighted, and just a fantastic sound. They sound good even out here with all this traffic noise. That really started getting everybody going in again. And the Kamaka people, if you want a ukulele that's like, oh, I want something seriously, you want to get into one of these Kamakas. They make tenors and baritones, and the Kamaka has really choice wood. The koa wood that grows from the Kamaka only grows on the Hawaiian island chain, and is tap-tuned and gorgeous. But I have a story for you. As a guy that collects ukuleles, anybody that collects uke should have this book. This is the Martin ukulele, and if you collect any sort of ukuleles, you want the Martin ukulele book. It references, it really is a guide for you to get into this. But as a store owner, I occasionally bump into stuff that's really kind of hard to describe, and that's this one here. And I'm going to share with you a little grief from my side of the counter. And this is cool because it's a longer scale length. This is a concert body, and you can see it wouldn't fit in this case, but a concert is a little shorter than a tenor, but they were usually special ordered, so they're fairly rare. Concert ukuleles are pretty rare, and this one I was interested in, but if you can see the back here, I'm going to try to get it in the light, there is all of these cracks. I mean, cracks of like 1, 2, there's probably 30 inches of cracks on this tiny thing, and it's also been rubbed out. It's been poorly done. So at some point in time, Grandpa said, oh, I can fix that. And no, you really didn't do a very good job at it. This again has the logo on the back, so we know it's an older instrument, unlike my previous ukulele, which had a logo on the front. So older, newer, for those of you still following along on this video. And they would either have ebony board or Brazilian rosewood boards and bridges. Now, I had a friend that wants to buy it for 2 reasons. He wanted these pearl markers on here. So this is another thing like, oh, that didn't come originally on this uke, but these pearl buttons are from like another guitar. So if you're missing one from your 30s Martin, there's that. But this is really beat up, multiple cracks, but here's the thing. Again, can't hear it that well with traffic noise. This is a killer sounding ukulele. Can I sell it? No, because no one would buy it. It's got like 30 inches of cracks on it, and they're really badly done. And it's somebody took the finish off it, and it's really, on paper, this would look terrible. But it has a cool case, and the tone of this is fantastic. So those of you out looking at stuff, sometimes you look at pictures, and you're just like, oh, that's too rough. But I gotta tell you, even in ukuleles, the ones that have been played to death, the ones that have the most cracks, the ones that just look whooped, sometimes, not always, but sometimes, they're absolutely the best sounding ukuleles. They don't look good on paper. If I were to describe this to you, it wouldn't look good on paper, but this is a fairly rare Martin concert style one from the 30s. Okay, that is a Uke Nerd Minute from Willie. I'll see you next time.